Hey everyone, welcome to this video of round 17 of my multiplayer server. In round 17, as you can probably see, we had a bit of a funky palette. So I made all colors very dark except green, orange, purple and pink. And I called this palette the neon palette. And the players had to work with this. This is actually the only multiplayer round so far that I didn't join. But I enjoyed watching what everybody else was building. So yeah, some really cool stuff was built in this round. So I think I'll just start here in the corner and then just make my way up until the final plot. So here we have the first plot. This one's made by Cloud Striker. As you can see, I added some custom scenery pieces in this round. So we have these fences here that are really yeah. So they have two colors and they're just blinking a lot, and I think it gives a really nice effect, and it worked really well with this palette to make these cool funky lights. So yeah, Cloud Striker used them really well. I think he made these towers with all these bright lights. He covered the paths with them on the sides, and he also made some rides here, which also used the palette quite well. So here's for example, this is the observation tower, which is really dark but has these really cool orange accents, and of course this car. And there's of course also the mini coaster, which also has this bright track but with dark supports in between them. Also, I think this plot uses the Stardust item quite well. I love how this item looks when used with this palette. So yeah, there's this dark floor and then this bright blinking dust, which looks quite cool. Okay, here we have the next plot. This one was made by Lily. This plot is a bit more abstract, I think. It leaves a bit more to the imagination, let's put it like that. So there's these water tiles. Actually it's bubbling goo with glass on top, probably because we didn't have any water tiles in this map. And the boats that she made go over and under them at certain points. Or actually they're always under them, I'm not sure. It's quite difficult to see because everything's on different levels here. But yeah, some stuff that I like about this plot is how she used, for example, these dolphin statues. She actually put them a bit under the tiles, but with the dolphins peeking out above them. And she did the same for this seal, for example, that's spraying water. And of course there's the boats going around an invisible track on this plot. And on the bottom there's all this foliage growing, mushrooms. And these big stacks of grass which actually grow out above the water. I think what could have made this plot better was maybe if she used a different texture for the floor, because I'm not sure if I like the overgrown grass look here. But yeah, it's a bit of a different plot. I don't think everybody really understood what was built here. But yeah, it's certainly something different than everybody else made. Alright, here's the next plot. This one was made by Felix. Felix actually crammed 2 coasters into this plot, which is quite impressive, I think. So yeah, here's the wild mouse going around this island that he made, and there's this big twister coaster. Of course there's a Ferris wheel surrounded by water, the plot, and there's also this nice big pirate ship. I like how he used the bubbling goo under the water to give it just a nice little extra touch. It actually works quite well. I've never used this, but I think I will in the future. And of course there's also this nice waterfall here, and I like how he used these river rapids pieces to make it look like a turbulent water. So yeah, really great job on this plot. Call it Kremland. Alright, here's the next plot. This one was made by Danielle. Sadly, she wasn't able to finish this plot. So yeah, a bit more work would have made it look nice. I think there's not much to talk about here. Okay, here's the next plot made by Ferrari for the win. he made this racetrack. I don't think it scored too well. The plot overall looks really nice. If this would have been put down in any other round, I think it would have scored higher. But yeah, he probably would have done better if he made better use of the neon palette. Maybe make all the cards in those colors or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, right now there's just some accents on the building that have the neon color. I think it could probably made better use of the palette. But yeah, what's there, I really like it. Right, here's the next plot. Oh, by the way, if you hear me have kind of a different voice than usual, I have a bit of a cold, so I'm sorry if I sniff too much, but I'll try to do my best to just cover this round as good as possible. So yeah, this next plot is made by Minok. He made this big coaster going around the plot inside this huge building here. I think he could have done a little bit better with the color choices. I don't really think this bright color works for the metal parts. These accents are quite cool, but also the rest. But I think it's a bit too repetitive, too monotonous. He probably could have put some less repetitive stuff here, and then would have probably looked a lot nicer. But yeah, overall still a good effort. What I do like is this motion simulator that's here on top of the building. I think that's a nice touch. Alright, here's the next plot made by Mistcraft. Mistcraft made this beautiful coaster going around the plot, also in this really nice building. I love all the details he put on the plot. I'm not really sure about the color of the supports, I think they're a little bit too bright. He also made this rotor drop in this tower here. And overall, I think this plot just looks really good. Is there anything else in this building? No, just the coaster. He also used these steeplechase pieces here as extra decorations. And overall, I think this looks really good. What I really like about this plot, for example, is these support structures that he made for this coaster, for the top hat, and the way these colors flow into each other. It looks really nice. Okay, here's the next plot made by Wingnut 707, I believe. What's WI? Yeah, 707. Just checking. So he made this coaster going around an icy plot. He was the only one who went for an ice theme. But I think it works really well with this palette, especially together with the stardust. That makes the ice look like it's shiny. That's a really cool touch. So yeah, this spiral coaster goes up the spiral here, and then it goes down this track. I think it's probably a bit too high for the short track that it does, but still it's a good effort that he made. So like the observation tower that he made here, the bright accents, and also there's this big metal building here, which also has several rides in it, a merry-go-round, a twist, and a spiral slide. And there's also an enterprise here on the plot. So yeah, it's quite. At least what he built here is quite unique. No one else went for the ice team. Alright, here's the plot that got second place. It was made by Supra the Hedgehog, and he made this plot which he called Engine Labs. I think it's from my game. I think he once told me. I forgot which game it was, but someone can probably tell me in the comments. I really like this coaster going around the plot here. And this huge structure in the middle, and also this he put this green glass floor. I think it's supposed to be acid. Yeah, it says warning acid drop. Yeah, the water in this round was just normal water, We didn't have colorable water tiles, I think, so people used these glass floor to represent water. I think it looks very believable. I love this structure he made in the middle. It integrates so well with this coaster, and all the stuff around it is also very great. So yeah, well deserved second place. It's really nice. Okay, here's plot made by Fitzy Suase. This one was actually my favorite plot of this round. I think I rated it 10. So you might be thinking this is just a dull, dark building, but OpenRCT2 actually has this feature called Cutaway View, and with it, it allows you to look inside stuff or to remove scenery at a certain height. So when we slowly go down, I think it's around here. Yeah, then we actually remove the roof, and then you can see here on the top floor of the building there's actually this mini golf course. So full of jungle scenery, mushrooms and stuff, flowers. Rainforest golf. Oh yeah, there's also this elevator right here going to the top. And then we go down a little bit more. And then we can see there's a cart ride here in this section of the building. And it also looks, I think it looks really good also with all the stuff around it, the bright scenery. I also like how the peeps are walking around here, not on paths, but just on the wooden floor. And then there's also a floor down. And here on the bottom floor there's several more rides. There's a flying saucer ride here. And he even put a little roller coaster here on the lower floor of the building. So yeah, this was my favorite plot of the round. It didn't score really well. I think I got somewhere in the middle range. But yeah, this plot did allow me to check, to weed out the people who only voted from the screenshots that were shown. Because if people want to give plots ratings on my round, I always ask from them that they actually go on the server or check the plot in-game. Just to make sure they can see all the details. And yeah, some people gave this plot a really high score, so then I immediately knew they didn't bother to check the plot in-game or check inside. But yeah, quite a risky play by Fitzy. He probably could have scored better if he actually alerted people to the stuff that's inside the building. But yeah, like I said, my favorite plot of the round. I really love this. Okay, this plot was made by Scoop. Sadly, he wasn't able to finish the plot. He made this launched motorbike coaster. Yeah, sadly he wasn't able to finish it, but the stuff that's there, I think it looks really good. I love this sort of flying saucer decoration that he made outside. It looks amazing. Made mostly of track pieces, but also with this custom scenery in the middle. And also something that's really cool about this plot, I think, is this monorail wall that he built. I also really like building these where I can. And one of my next tutorials will be about building a monorail wall like this, because these can look great when done well. It's quite easy to make, but it's also quite tedious to do. Okay, here we have the winner of this round. This plot was made by Julo. He made this plot inspired by Miami Beach. He put all these really cool looking buildings, mostly made with just normal scenery pieces, but they're done in an incredible way. So I love how he combined it with these abstract theme decorations. Yeah, there's this bright pathway here with guests walking on them. There are actually some cars going around here on the street. There's a beach here which he made. Also he put stardust here all over the plot, which gives it a really nice shiny feel, I think. And there's these beach benches for lying down that he made with pieces of ghost train track. And there's this bumper boat ride that travels here over these scenery tiles, which actually look like the water as it looks in the sunset, I guess. But yeah, this plot's really well done, really good execution, and well deserved first place. Really great job. Okay, here's a plot made by Yaron. It's called Yarlandia. So he also made a cityscape. It's a bit more simple in execution. He probably could have put a little bit more details on these buildings. But yeah, he put this vertical drop roller coaster going around the plot, going underground here a few times, going vertical several times. I like the trees here that he put in the plot. But yeah, overall a bit simple in execution, but not bad. Good effort. Okay, here we have the plot made by Burp. Burp also made a cityscape. It was mostly done in a very short time, I believe. Well, like a lot is these river rapids pieces that he put under the water. And of course this Ferris wheel is a big eye catcher. It's almost hypnotic. Anyway, put some really cool stuff here. Also there's this millipede flying high above the track, which is also a fun touch, I think. So yeah, these buildings are really well made. I think it's cool how he integrated these shops into the roofs for the buildings. So yeah, really impressive, especially since a lot of this plot was built in the last few hours. So yeah, really nice job. I think it got third place. Okay, here's the next plot made by Zero Faction. I think Zero Faction was a newcomer in this round. So I guess this is a casino. So I guess this plot was themed after Las Vegas style buildings. There's this go-karts going around the plot, and this really cool roller coaster. I really like the way Zero Faction used the colors on this plot. Oh yeah, there's also this launch freefall. Great combination here with the Egypt team, but also some other teams in between. I guess that's Las Vegas, a bit of a mishmash of teams all around. But yeah, really great execution. I'm not sure, but I think this plot got 5th place or 6th place. I think it was 5th place, or even 4th. I don't remember. But I do know that this plot scored quite well, and that's really good for a newcomer. So great job, Zero Faction. I hope to see more of you in the future. Okay, and here we get to the last plot. This one is made by Zirati. Zirati also made this really cool plot. Here's some really bright paths. Like most is probably this area where the peeps are walking around just here on an invisible path, but through all this stardust. Here some nice dark buildings with really cool bright accents. This building's called Space. Oh, there's nothing inside it. But yeah, there's some shops here in this area and a spiral slide here. And he also made some benches using vertical drop roller coaster cars, which is also a funny touch. And here on this side there's some water made by putting bright glass tiles. Alright, that was all the plots for round 17. Yeah, I'll probably do more of these crazy palettes in the future. I really liked watching this round, even though I didn't play in it. But some people built some amazing stuff here. If you want to join any of my rounds, you can join my Discord. The link is in the description. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope to see you again in the next one. See you later.